Untouchables or the Children of India's Ghetto by Babasaheb Ambedkar. Part 2, Chapter 6, 11. To lead a marriage procession through the main streets of the village is the right of every caste Hindu. It is also an evidence that the community which enjoys this right is accepted as a respectable community. The untouchables have no such right, but they have been seeking to establish such a right by taking their marriage procession through the main streets of the village with the object of establishing their social status. The following incidents show how the Hindus have dealt with this claim. From the Adi Hindu, dated July 1927. Bangalore, 27th May 1927. Seven Brahmins were sentenced to pay a fine of 100 rupees each by the first class magistrate. These men had wantonly attacked a procession of the well known untouchable caste when it was passing along the Malkot road where only Brahmins live. From the Pratap, dated 25th October 1931. In the village of Hargaon, district Garhwal, when the high caste Hindus heard that the marriage party of the untouchables was coming and the bridegroom was sitting in a palanquin, they sallied forth in great numbers and surrounded the party and gave it a severe beating. In intense cold, they held up the marriage party and kept it without food for 24 hours. The members of the party were inhumanely treated and were only rescued from this difficult situation by the coming of the police. From the Satya Samvad, Lahore, dated 3rd November 1931. A marriage party was passing near Delhi, carrying the bridegroom in a palanquin. The high caste Hindus took offense at this, for they thought it to be an insult to them. They held up the party for 2 days and gave it nothing either to eat or drink. At last, the police came and chased away these tyrants and rescued the marriage party. The Jeevan, a Hindu journal for June 1938, reports 1. In village Sevra, the Golas, Purva Thakurs, who boast of being Congressites, have so mercilessly beaten with spears and lathis the unarmed Jatavs of the village that 5 of them were lying wounded in the hospital with arms and ribs broken. Bansi has sustained fracture of the skull bone and is still unconscious in the hospital. All this happened because when a marriage party came to the village and the bridegroom was wearing a glittering crown, Hukka Mohar, which offended the Thakurs who wanted to attack the marriage party, but desisted because of the party's superior strength and were therefore content with only insulting the marriage party within the zamindari at that time. 2. In village Dora, Tehsil Fatehchand, district Agra, a marriage party came to the house of Moti Ram Jatav from village Rampur. The bridegroom was wearing a glittering crown, and the party also brought band music and fireworks. The caste Hindus objected to the party proceeding with the music band playing and displaying fireworks. Moti Ram protested against this and said that they were also as good human beings as any others. On this, the caste Hindus caught hold of Moti Ram and gave him a severe beating and also attacked the marriage party. A sum of rupees 1510 tied in Moti Ram's turban was also recovered. 3. While a marriage party was on its way to the house of Prem Singh and Girvar Singh, Jatavs of village Khurwa, police post Sakini, district Aligarh, it was prevented by the caste Hindus from proceeding further unless the music band stopped playing, and the procession was threatened to be killed and looted if the music was not stopped. Caste Hindus were also enraged for refusal by the Jatavs to do Begar and for the audacity to have music band playing with a marriage party. On the village party's refusal to stop the music, the caste Hindus were so enraged that they threw brickbats and stones at the party. The Hindustan Times of the 24th of March 1945 reports the following incident relating to the same subject. A Shilpakar marriage party of the village of Dhanuri in Lansdowne subdivision, carrying the bridegroom in a palki, was proceeding to the bride's village in the village of Maldhangu. A man introducing himself as an agent of the Patwari of Maldhangu advised the party to go through an out of the way route to avoid disturbance by caste Hindus. The party accordingly took a forest path, and when they were at a lonely spot, a whistle brought out about 200 caste Hindus who, it is alleged, attacked the party and carried away the palki. The Shilpakar party reached the bride's house 2 days later, and the marriage was, it is reported, performed in the presence of the sub-divisional magistrate and a police party brought by him. The Patwari has been suspended in this connection. The Civil and Military Gazette of Lahore, in its issue of 24th June 1945, reports a party of Rajputs armed with axes, lathis, and daggers attacked yesterday Dalits of a village in Gwalior state, killing one and inflicting serious injuries on four. The Rajputs and the Dalits of the village were on hostile terms for some time past, ever since the Dalits took out a procession to celebrate the birth of an heir apparent to the Gwalior Darbar. The Rajputs strongly protested against it, as, according to them, Dalits were not entitled to the privileges of such celebrations. Last month, a proclamation was issued by the Maharaja giving equal rights to the Dalits. Here are a few cases to show how the Hindus treat with violence any attempt on the part of the untouchables to imitate the ways and manners of the Hindus and to have a little pride in themselves. The following is from the Bombay Samachar of 4th November 1936. At Uttapallam in Malabar, an Edava by caste named Sivaraman, aged 17, went to the shop of a caste Hindu to buy salt and asked in the Malayalam language for uppu. In Malabar, according to custom, caste Hindus alone can use the word uppu for salt. Being only a Dalit, he ought to have used the words pulichatan. Consequently, the high caste grocer was very angry and is alleged to have thrashed Sivaraman so severely that the latter died. The following incidents are collected from the Samata. 1. At Kathi district, Pune, the people have begun to persecute the untouchables because the latter have been saying Ram Ram and Namaskar. Be it known to the unintimated that these are salutations which only the high castes have the right to employ. The Mahars, etc., must say Johar or Payalagu, I touch your feet, to the people. 2. The untouchables of Tanu district, Pune, try to behave like touchable Hindu people. The result of this impudent encroachment is that many of them have had to leave the village and some have migrated to Bavda. 3. At Valapur district of Sholapur, the Mahars are persecuted because they have dared to refuse to address touchables as Sahib and to say Paya Lagu, I touch your feet, in salutation. 4. At Jambar district Sholapur, the untouchables refuse to make Noch and Tamasha for the diversion of the touchable lords. Therefore, these untouchables were thrashed, their huts were burnt down or pulled down, and they were driven out of the village limits. 5. At Bavra district, Pune, some untouchables exhorted their fellow outcasts to give up eating the leavings of higher caste people, dead animals, etc., and to refuse to do the dirty work of the people. The elders of the village have told these Mahars with newfangled notions that it is their dharma to eat what they have always been eating and do what they have always been doing. Those Mahars who do not follow their ancient and eternal dharma have been thrashed by the people and threatened with expulsion from the village. The end.